At 5 o'clock, demanding answers. The call for President Trump to be held accountable over allegations that Russia put a bounty on the lives of U.S. troops and the local Marine who could be one of the victims.
Clearly, we are not in total control right now.
Coronavirus cases, Dr. Fauci raising red flags during Senate testimony today, how far he thinks cases could swell. And tri-state governors have now doubled the number of states under mandatory quarantine orders, bringing the total to 16. First, though, cracking down ahead of phase 3. Good evening, everyone. I'm David Ushery. With less than a week before indoor dining set to begin, New York State Police and State Liquor Authority agents will be in the city tonight to make sure restaurants are complying with current COVID restrictions. News 4's Jonathan Dean's following this. He's in Hell's Kitchen with more on this plan. Jonathan?
Yeah, David, it's more a look-see than a crackdown, but with New Jersey announcing that they are delaying the opening of indoor dining, Governor Cuomo says he wants more information before making the same call. That's why he says state police and other inspectors will be out tonight doing some checks. It is scenes like this outside bars and restaurants at night, or even on weekend days. If that's outside, what happens with drinking and dining inside? Governor Cuomo is sending out state police and other inspectors tonight to see conditions in New York and parts of Long Island. He spoke to New York One earlier.
I want the restaurants to have notice one way or the other, and I want to get a snapshot of tonight what's happening so I make an informed decision tomorrow.
The NYPD has backed off on social distancing enforcement at restaurants amid the protests and more pressing needs like the spike in shootings. So the governor is using state police and liquor authority personnel.
They're going to be looking all throughout the city to see if New Yorkers are complying. And I've said to the local governments in New York, also on Long Island, we have an issue. They have to enforce the compliance.
Along 9th Avenue, a light afternoon crowd, with the owner of the Bombay Grill worried how much longer he can hold on.
The dining is not much happening now, so I have like a small place, but I'm waiting for windows to open.
Pathan tells us he believes restaurants like his can follow rules and open safely, but with concern the virus may spread easier indoors amid air conditioning, New York may delay openings like neighboring New Jersey. The head of the Hospitality Alliance says he agrees health officials should make the call on safety.
But the one thing that's for certain is that our restaurants have been financially devastated, and if we're going to delay reopening, they need even more support than before.
Again, the Hospital Alliance saying that if openings are delayed, restaurants will need more income and utility assistance, among more money just to survive. Again, the governor expected to make his announcement sometime tomorrow. Live in Hell's Kitchen, Jonathan Deans, News 4.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Some drastic measures being taken in New Jersey as well because of scenes like this, a restaurant packed with patrons before indoor dining even starts. News 4's Brian Thompson's in Jersey City with the plan to get them to cease and desist. Brian.
Yeah, David, and it's almost like whack-a-mole for officials all across New Jersey. But yes, Jersey City is being especially aggressive right now. This restaurant behind me now facing the possibility of loss of its ABC liquor license. This video caught the attention of Jersey City police. Indoor dining, no social distancing here at the Factory Restaurant and Bar.
I thought it was crazy, really, to be honest with you. No mask, everything that's going on. I didn't think it was right.
City Prosecutor Jake Hudnut agrees.
We will prosecute any business that puts profit over public health.
The owner here declined to go on camera, but he says that inside there is actually an open-air courtyard that he put rain-protecting plastic sheets over, likening it to large tents some restaurants are using elsewhere. But he admits social distancing is tough, and Jersey City's mayor is worried about a COVID cluster, as we've seen across the country.
The incubation period is much longer than 2, 3, 4 days. So the impact of Saturday and Sunday of what happened at the factory, we're going to probably see that in a week from now.
Other incidents of overcrowding, no masks, and no social distancing, such as in Seabright in recent weekends, have caught the attention of Governor Murphy. One key reason he put indoor dining on pause yesterday.
This is how flare-ups happen. This is how you risk turning your community into a hot spot.
Now, with thousands and thousands of cases in Jersey City alone over these past few months, The mayor here says that he is prepared to go beyond the state in, if he has to, shutting down operations or outdoor dining or whatever it may be to make sure that the virus is kept under control. And he says a lot of July, all of July for that matter, will probably be determined by how people behave this July 4th weekend. Live in Jersey City, Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.
Governor Ned Lamont says today's metrics show an all-time high in testing for the state with an all-time low in positive cases. But he does warn, with areas in other parts of the country spiking, it is no time to let that guard down. And that surge of cases nationwide has the nation's leading health officials sounding the alarm on Capitol Hill today. As NBC's Wendy Wolfwick reports, new infections could multiply exponentially if Americans of all ages don't take responsibility to control the spread.
As COVID-19 infections spike across the country, a stark warning for all Americans.
We are now having 40,000+ new cases a day. I would not be surprised if we go up to 100,000 a day if this does not turn around.
26 states are already seeing a rise in cases, with 11 looking at a sharp jump of 100% or more over the last 14 days. Prompting Arizona's governor to close bars, gyms, and pools for a minimum of 30 days.
We can't be under any illusion that this virus is going to go away on its own. Our expectation is that next week our numbers will be worse.
Small businesses run our country.
In Texas, some bar employees are pushing back on the governor's pause of the reopening plan. New Jersey's governor defending his decision to delay the reopening of indoor dining in his state. And now, along with New York and Connecticut, expanding the 14-day quarantine rule to include all travelers from now 16 of the states seeing surges.
If you're coming to New Jersey from one of these states, we urge your compliance.
That on the same day the European Union reopened its borders to 14 countries, but not to the U.S. While hours-long testing lines are still forming from coast to coast, still a long way ahead to beat this disease. Wendy Wolfwick, NBC News.